Hello, everyone. Uh, so, Virgo, 3 weeks, 21 days from this moment, you'll look back at today and barely recognize the person reading these words. Because what's assembling itself in the invisible architecture of your future isn't gentle upward progression. It's vertical launch, sudden, disorienting, the kind of ascent that leaves your stomach 3 floors below while your body hurtles upward into altitudes you've only observed from ground level. You think you know what's coming, you don't. You've been preparing, sure, working, hoping, positioning yourself. But preparation and impact are different species. You can train for earthquake and still find yourself breathless when ground actually moves beneath you. Here's what nobody tells you about skyrocketing: it's not comfortable. Comfortable is the slow climb, incremental raises, gradual recognition, relationships that develop over months. Success you can track, measure, explain to yourself and others through linear cause effect narratives. But skyrocketing, that's chaos masquerading as blessing. That's getting everything you wanted delivered in time frame that gives you no space to adjust gradually. That's your nervous system screaming too much too fast, while opportunities pile up faster than you can process them. And it starts in 3 weeks. Maybe less. Maybe you wake up on day 19 and the call comes, the email arrives, the person walks into your life, the realization hits, and suddenly before becomes after, with no intermediate phase to cushion the transition. What does life skyrocketing actually look like, stripped of metaphor? It looks like your income doing something obscene, not doubling that's cute math for people playing small. We're talking 5x, 10x. Numbers that make you check your bank account 3 times because surely there's been error. Um, Contract signed that pays you more for 3 months than you made all last year. Investment that hits, business breakthrough that converts years of grinding into sudden flood of revenue that doesn't know how to stop coming. And your first response isn't joy, it's terror. What if this disappears? What if I can't sustain it? What if I'm not actually capable of managing this much? But it doesn't disappear. It compounds. It looks like doors that were welded shut suddenly swinging wide without you even pushing. Opportunities you would have killed for last year now arriving 3 at once, forcing you to choose instead of desperately accepting whatever scraps appear. We want you for this project. We'd like to invest in your vision. We've been watching your work. Can we talk? Messages from people whose attention you couldn't buy last month, now wanting your time, your expertise, your participation. And you sit there thinking, did I miss a memo? When did I become person people chase instead of person doing the chasing? You didn't miss anything. You just hit threshold, critical mass, the point where invisible work becomes visible result. So fast, it feels like magic, but it's actually just mathematics. You couldn't see completing itself behind the scenes. It looks like person entering or person already present suddenly showing up differently in ways that make every previous relationship feel like rehearsal. Not better than your ex, better, different dimension, entirely better. someone who sees you with clarity that's almost uncomfortable, who wants you with intensity that doesn't hide behind cool performance, who chooses you with certainty that eliminates all the exhausting, where do I stand? Mental gymnastics you've been doing for years. And when they look at you, really look, you realize you've been starving for that kind of seeing without even knowing it was possible. 3 weeks until that person makes themselves known, either reveals feelings you didn't know they had, or walks through door you didn't know was opening, or removes the mask they've been wearing and shows you who they actually are beneath the performance. Your job isn't preparing. Your job is not running when it happens. Because here's what skyrocketing demands. You have to let go of ground. Rockets don't work if you're still clutching earth. Elevation requires release of safety, of control, of the small, predictable life you've been managing so carefully. And release is grief, even when what you're releasing is limitation. You'll grieve your anonymity when visibility arrives. Grieve your simple life when complexity floods in. Grieve your victimhood when power becomes undeniable. Grieve your smallness when bigness forces you to become instead of just aspire. That grief is normal. Feel it. But don't let it stop you from ascending. What happens in these last 3 weeks of normal? You'll notice acceleration, things moving faster, conversations getting more intense, opportunities presenting more frequently, energy building like pressure before storm breaks. You might feel anxious without clear reason. That's not pathology, that's your system detecting major shift before your conscious mind can name it. Trust the anxiety. It's information, not malfunction. You might start dreaming differently, vivid, prophetic. Your subconscious processing what's coming before waking mind catches up. You might feel restless, like you should be doing something, but you don't know what. That restlessness is readiness. You're being preparing for launch while your mind tries to logic its way to understanding that won't come through thinking. And you might start questioning everything. Should I take this job or wait? Should I text them or let them come to me? Should I invest here or save? Here's truth. In 3 weeks, those questions become IR relevant because circumstances shift so dramatically that current decision frameworks don't even apply to the reality you'll be operating in. So stop agonizing. Make reasonable choice with information you have, then adjust when SKYROCKET launches and new data floods in. Listen, here's what I need you to hear through the noise of your doubt. You're not ready. You won't be ready in 3 weeks. Readiness is illusion. People sell you to keep you stuck preparing instead of doing, but you're capable. And capability under pressure is what creates readiness, not the other way around. When income skyrockets, you'll figure out how to manage it. When opportunities multiply, you'll learn to choose. When person arrives, you'll learn to receive love that doesn't punish you for being human. You'll learn by doing in real time, while scared, while uncertain, while wondering if you're fucking it all up. And you will fuck some of it up. Will make mistakes that cost you. Will say wrong thing. Will misread situation. Will trust wrong person. Will waste money on stupid shit because you've never had money before, and making mistakes is how you learn. That's fine. That's expected. That's part of skyrocketing. What's not fine is refusing to launch because you're terrified of turbulence. Your last 3 weeks of normal are gift, not punishment. Gift of knowing it's coming so you can tie up loose ends. Have conversations you've been avoiding. Clear relationships that drain. Rest deeply because rest becomes luxury once ascent begins. Say goodbye to version of yourself who's been surviving instead of thriving. That version served you. Honor them. Thank them for getting you here. Then let them go. Because who you're becoming can't fit in their skin anymore. 3 weeks until your life skyrockets, not gradually improves, not gets slightly better, skyrockets. And when it does, when you're in the middle of the chaos and the blessing and the overwhelm and the terror and the joy all hitting simultaneously, remember this moment. Remember you were told. Remember you're not crazy. Remember this is exactly what's supposed to happen. The power is yours. It always has been. Take what resonates. Leave what doesn't. Trust yourself. But listen when Skyrocket launches in 3 weeks. Don't you dare shrink back down to make other people comfortable with your expansion. Don't apologize for ascending. Don't dim yourself, because brightness makes mediocrity visible by contrast. Burn, rise, take up space. You've earned it, not through suffering, through being, through continuing, through not giving up when giving up would have been easier. 3 weeks of normal left, then lift off, strap in, bye.